Hey everybody, this is Claire from Van Isle Labradoodles, and this is episode 4 of Puppies 1, 2, 3. And today we're going to talk about house training your puppy. This is one of the biggest concerns that people have when they get a new puppy, sometimes a source of frustration, sometimes a source of triumph. So we're going to go through some tips and some steps to help you be successful in training your Labradoodle puppy. So right now we have a litter of 3-week-old puppies. This is our New Year litter, and these puppies just turned 3 weeks old on Thursday. These are mini Australian Labradoodle puppies, and they have just been able to eliminate on their own. So their mama no longer needs to simulate them to go to the bathroom. So what does this mean for house training? Well, this means in their nest, this is not their nest, this is just their bed for making videos. In their nest, they're able to move around now, walk around, and they're able to pee and poo wherever they wish. So what does that mean for you in house training? Well, what we're really doing when we're house training a Labradoodle is we're teaching them not so much to go to the bathroom outdoors, but to use a specific type of surface to go to the bathroom on. Now this starts right from the beginning, as soon as the puppies are able to eliminate on their own. Instinctively, Labradoodles look for something that's an absorbent surface to go to the bathroom on. Now this is something that's really important for you as a Labradoodle puppy owner to keep in mind. This means if you have a carpet, that's where your puppy is going to choose to go to the bathroom. It's usually where they also choose to throw up or do anything that you don't want them to do, because that's the surface that they read as being the appropriate place to go on. Because what we're going to do and what you're going to do is teach the dogs to build on that natural instinct to find an absorbent surface to eliminate on. But that also means you have to do a little bit of adjusting in your home until your puppy is a little bit older and about 6 months old and has everything mastered in terms of where it is appropriate and not appropriate to go to the bathroom. As for the throwing up, adult dogs will still pick your area rug or your carpet to do that on. That will never change. Usually because by the time they start to throw up, they don't have time to get from where they are in the house to the outdoors, unless you're right there and you're really quick and able to deal with that. So let's go back to the house training. What are we doing to help you with that? So right away, what we've done now is we have covered 90% of the surface of their nest with absorbent pee pads. Now we're just using very small pee pads and very thin ones because they're little. This is the pee pad. There is an attractant in the pee pad that encourages the dogs to use it to go to the bathroom on. The texture of this feels different on their feet. It smells different, as I said, and that is what is going to teach them this is what you pee on. More absorbent than their bedding, smells different than their bedding. And then the reason why we cover almost all the surface of it and leave just a small surface that's not covered in a pee pad is because they are 3-week-old puppies. Their cognitive ability is still fairly immature. But we make it so that we set them up for success. And that's the first thing you need to remember as well. You need to set yourself up so that your puppy can be successful. So step 1. Make sure that you remove anything that could be considered an absorbent grass type of surface from the area where your puppy's going to be. Area rugs are the #1 things for that. Don't try to bring your puppy up in a carpeted area if you can avoid it. Usually your kitchen, your bathroom, and your laundry room will not have carpet in them if the rest of your home is carpeted. House training is so much easier now because most of us have a hardwood floor. And that's great because that's not an absorbent surface and that's not appealing to a puppy to go to the bathroom on. So your home is probably your friend. But if you're living in an older condo or an older home and you do have carpet, then what you want to do is start by restricting your puppy's access through the house to the carpeted area and having them in the hard surfaced areas. So for that, you are going to have to use an X-pen perhaps to close them off in, say, your kitchen. The other thing you want to do is to make sure you have your eyes on your puppy all the time, unless they're sleeping or they're confined with an X-Pen or in a crate. Your crate is going to be your best friend for helping you with house training. And next week's episode is going to be on crate training and how to work with your dog in a crate and how it fits into house training. But the crate will be invaluable to you. Another thing that's a really super handy aid to have, especially if you're single, is, or if you work from home and you're going to be busy working while your puppy is awake, is what's called a leash that goes around your waist. So it wraps around your waist so your hands are free, so you can cook, you can be on the phone, you can be on your computer, but your puppy is attached to you. So that means that your Labradoodle can't run off and be out of your sight and squat and pee where they're not supposed to. It also sort of forces you to pay attention to your dog really well so that you are able to see, oh, they're starting to go in a little circle, they're showing me signs, I better get outside. The other tool that you're going to want to use is your cell phone. Use your cell phone to set yourself a timer. When you first bring your puppy home, when they're 9 weeks old or so, you want to be taking your little Labradoodle out to pee about every 30 to 45 minutes when they're awake. If they're not awake, don't wake them up to take them out. That's fine, they can sleep. But if they're awake and they're active, then you want to be taking them out about every 30 to 45 minutes. Now, if you start taking them out and you consistently are not getting any pee at all, then back that off a bit and make it more like once every 50 minutes to every hour. Every puppy is individual. This is something really important to remember for all training aspects of your Labradoodle. What works for my Labradoodle is not necessarily going to be successful with your Labradoodle. For instance, if you have a dog and everyone's saying, oh, your dog doesn't seem to like other dogs very much, well, that may just be the personality of that dog. That dog may not really enjoy being in the company of other dogs. So you don't want to force that dog into hanging out with other dogs and meeting other dogs and doing something your dog doesn't like. You want to work around that, make your dog comfortable. So same with house training. My puppy may need to go out every 30 minutes to go to the bathroom. Your puppy may need to go out once an hour. Your puppy may be good at an hour and a half. That's something that you'll need to establish once you get your puppy home. So the first thing that you want to do when you get your little Labradoodle puppy home is start to learn their signs. So as a general rule for most dogs, when they have to go to the bathroom, it starts off with putting their nose to the ground, a little bit more than they would be if they were just doing their general sniffing about. It'll be a more intentional sniff. They usually also tend to do a little bit of a circle movement. Not so much, oh, I'm going over here to look at this, now I'm going over here to look at this, but more my nose is down to the ground and I'm going sort of in a circular fashion. As soon as you see that happening, you're going to want to pick your puppy up and take it right over to the front door or whatever door it is that your puppy's going to use to go to the bathroom with. Put the leash onto your puppy's collar and right out the front door. So have that leash handy all the time, right at the door, so there's no fiddling around and giving your puppy an opportunity to go to the bathroom in the wrong spot. As soon as you see any signs of your puppy needing to go, it's better to be safe than sorry. Start off, head off to that door, snap the leash on, and off to the appropriate spot where you want your puppy to go to the bathroom. Once you get there, don't be distracting your puppy. Don't be saying a lot of things. In a very calm, neutral voice, use your cue word. Go pee, go potty, hurry up. Do your business, whatever word it is you want to use. I just use go pee. Doesn't matter if they're peeing or they're pooping or what they're doing, but just say go pee. Try to avoid eye contact. Make sure you have out of the corner of your eye, you can see your dog, and stand stationary in one spot. The spot that you have chosen for your puppy to use. And it should be a grassy spot. Gravel works, but dogs will prefer using grass. Now your puppy is going to come from Van Isle Labradoodles accustomed to going to the bathroom on gravel as well. They will have been trained to go to the bathroom on both gravel and grass. We do that to make it as convenient as possible for you. So they will be familiar with that if you want to use a gravel surface. One little hint, Picking poop off of gravel is not an easy task. You pick up more rocks than you pick up poop. So you may want to find a grassy area that you can use. Anyways, you're there, your puppy's on the leash, you're not doing anything, you're just standing. If your puppy's just going like this, I wonder what we're doing out here. Again, say, go pee, go pee, go pee, Spot. Come on, Spot, let's go pee. Just stay out there. Stay out there for 10 minutes. If your puppy doesn't go at all, okay, wait the 10 minutes, come in. Leave that leash on your puppy though, because guaranteed that's usually as soon as they come in, they'll want to go. So you want to leave the leash on, be very close to your puppy when they come back in. Only let your puppy in for 5-10 minutes, go out and try again. If after the third time of doing that, you don't get anywhere, forget it, leave it, let it go for another 30 minutes. But that doesn't happen very often. So that's how you get your puppy outside. And then once they do go, even if they just squat and you only get one drop, oh, Spot, that's such a good dog, yay! Oh, Mommy's so pleased with you, that's just a miracle, oh, blah, 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 blah. Fuss and go on and on. Make sure you've got a high value treat with you. Give the treat, take the leash off, let the puppy have a little bit of Zoom time around the backyard, let the puppy play, and then back in the house. Now, if it's pouring rain and the puppy has no interest in zooming around and playing, then the reward is to go back in the house right away. Lots of treats, everyone's like, yay! This is just the cleverest puppy in the world. So that's the basics of it. Consistency is really important. You have to consistently take your dog out on a schedule. You have to consistently reward. You have to consistently go to the same door and the same spot. Now, one thing a lot of people like to do is teach their dog to either knock on the door or ring bells to let them know they need to go outside. Knocking on the door is a little bit more complicated, but it's easy to hang bells. You can buy Poochie bells anywhere at any pet store. You put them on the knob of your door. Every time you go out with your puppy, you take your puppy's paw and have them just ring the bell. You don't need to say anything, just so they know every time they're going out the door, they're ringing the bell. Now there's one little bit of drawback to this program. Quite often when you do this, puppies, and especially Labradoodles who are known to be intelligent, will be, oh, if I ring the bell, I go outside. So they may not necessarily want to go outside to go to the bathroom. They may just want you to go outside. And that may not be a time that you want to go outside. So that is my one caveat with using the bells. Otherwise, your dog is going to get on a schedule and you're going to be on the same schedule. None of our dogs ever ask to go outside. None of them bark to go outside. None of them do anything. However, now that they're grown up, and of course we know them intimately, they'll come and they'll look at us like this. They might put their paw up, or they might run around and then come back and look at us. And we know that means, oh, okay, you need to go outside. Of course, as adults, they don't need to go out anywhere near as frequently as a puppy. So what do you really need to take away from all of this? Make sure that the absorbent surfaces in your home where your puppy is going to be are removed. You want to do that for at least 6 months. No area rugs, nothing down for the first 6 months. You don't want to be trusting your puppy that your puppy is really housebroken for 6 months. Make sure that you take your puppy out on a regular schedule, every 30 to 45 minutes or less if your puppy's not going. Oh, and one other thing with that, when you get to the door and you're taking your puppy outside, don't be trying to teach your puppy everything else. Don't be trying to put your puppy into a sit. Don't be trying to get your puppy to remember that you get to go out the door first. None of that. Puppies have infant brains. They're just little kids. They can't learn 14 things at once, one thing at a time. More than anything, housebreaking is the thing that you want to accomplish. Focus on that first, then worry later at a separate time about teaching your puppy to sit at the door and not go out when you open the door. Those are both valuable things you want to teach your puppy. Those things should come after your puppy is 6 months and fully housebroken. If you try to do too many things at once, nothing is going to be successful. Remember, you want to set your puppy up for success and you want to be successful with your puppy. So you get to the door, you go outside, and you just keep repeating this. Same door, same location. Get to know your puppy's cues and your puppy has to always have your eyes on them. So the waist leash, if you're not able to have your eyes on your puppy, or a crate, one or the other. Now for some people, it's not going to be an appropriate time for your puppy to be in the crate. You aren't going to be able to have the puppy attached to a leash around your waist. You have to get something done, and your puppy needs to be just separate from you. So if this happens, then what we recommend is you have your puppy's crate placed into an X pen, and you have some pee pads out available for your puppy to use. That way you can be out of your puppy's sight, or your puppy can be out of your sight more accurately, and you can do whatever it is you need to do. Using pee pads at home does slow down the house training process for sure. It doesn't mean it's not going to be successful. It's just going to take you longer to be successful. But it's your life, your lifestyle. Your puppy needs to work with your lifestyle. So don't feel like you're cheating, or don't let anyone tell you, oh, well, you know, that's not really the way to do it. What you need to do is what works for you. That way you're going to feel better. Your puppy is going to be successful. And that's really the main goal. So yes, research, read, listen to what other people say, but don't take it all to heart and feel like you're a failure or you need to do something different, because it's what works for your puppy in every situation that's going to make you successful. So that's it for your house training tips. It's really not as daunting as it sounds. Your puppy is going to come from Van Isle Labradoodles with a really strong head start on housebreaking. Many of our puppies go home and never have an accident in the house. The puppies will start using our doggy door at 5 weeks of age. So right from that age till they go home with you, they know outside is where they go to the bathroom. They already have that in their heads. If you have your puppy signed up for our Head Start program, then your puppy is already going to be starting to sleep in the crate for longer periods and understand what that's all about as well. When we talk about crate training next week, we'll go into that in a little bit more detail. So your puppy's already on their way to being successful with house training when you take your puppy home. The Head Start program will reinforce that even further. So it's usually not as onerous as it sounds. As long as you follow the recommendations of not having absorbent surfaces where your puppy is until they're 6 months of age, and being consistent and keeping your eyes on the clock and making sure you take your puppy out. So I hope that's been helpful. If you have any questions, any concerns, if anything's not clear, be sure to post it below in the comments. I'm happy to help answer them. And if you've enjoyed this episode of Puppies 123, please consider subscribing to our account. We'd love to have you here regularly. And thanks so much for watching.